Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our eBay store and our Facebook page. So this video is going to be a review of the Perfect Cell Ichiban Kuji that you see in front of you. And this figure was released in 2010 when Dragon Ball Kai started airing in Japan. And this is actually the B prize in the series. The A prize was the, it's like Goku kind of waving, and he's kind of standing on a orange dragon. I don't know if I can say Shenron, but it's an orange dragon. And then the C prize is a Super Saiyan Vegeta, sort of powering up, and he's got energy waves around the back of him. Very cool looking figure. I have reviewed that one. And the D prize is a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with kind of energy waves around him again. So that actually would be a great display with this Perfect Cell. But unfortunately, I've only managed to review the Super Saiyan Vegeta Kuji, so I'll put a link in that one. Now, if you want a figure of Perfect Cell, there aren't that many options because you've really only got this figure or the SCultures Series 1 figure, but the good thing is both of those figures are really cool. So even though you've only got two choices, they're both very, very good figures. So as I just sort of turn this figure around, so I'll show you the figure first, and then I'll talk about the sort of pros and cons of this figure, and also compare it to the SCultures one. Although I don't actually have it here, but I have reviewed that figure, and I can talk about the differences. So that's what the figure looks like. So I might just quickly show you the box, because it's not particularly interesting. So we'll get that out of the way. That's what the box looks like. So you can see it was part of the Dragon Ball Kai and Banpresto figure. So pretty much standard Ichiban Kuji kind of packaging. You can see it was a Japanese exclusive. Few surprises only. So the Kujis are like lottery. So you buy like tickets and then you can win prizes. And you can see their gold toe animation sticker. So B prize. This is Saiko Reburu, which is like the top level. That's the box. So let's now get back to the. Obviously, it sits in like a plastic thing that goes in the box. So he goes in that. Inside the box. So let's now talk about this figure. The thing I love about this figure the most is probably not surprising, the actual stance. I mean, it is a really cool stance. There's no articulation with this figure. It doesn't move like all Banpresto figures, but it's in a really cool stance. Looks very, very good, and it looks great from all angles. So if I chuck a figure in here, for example, so you can see there, he looks great from that angle. You could twist this around, he looks great from that angle. You could have him front on, obviously he looks great front on. You could even sort of have him kind of with his back facing the front, and he still looks great. So he basically looks great from all angles. So very versatile figure to sort of display with different figures. Looks really, really good. The second thing I like is the paint job, and as you can probably see, the sort of breastplates or shoulder pads are quite shiny, quite metallic-y. Same with his leg, calf muscles. They're the same color. You can see also the inside of the wings are quite shiny as well, so you only need a little bit of light, and as it sort of reflects off the yellow energy waves, you can see that the inside of his wings kind of light up, I guess you could say. you can see there, looks quite good. Really adds to the effect. And also even like the green parts, it's got a lot of like gradient, like toning. It's not a monotone green, so it looks really good. And I think that the actual shade of green is quite good as well. I felt that the SCultures figure was a bit dark, but this one I really like the green, and even the face. You know, the yellow is yellow, the purple is purple. Whereas I feel that the SCultures figure just seems a little bit too dark in my opinion. But it looks pretty good. In terms of what maybe complaints, I don't know if complaints the right word, but maybe things that they could have improved this figure with, is it's very hard to see his face. So if I put the camera at eye level, even at eye level you basically can't see his eyes. So that's not a big deal because he still looks great, but if you do want to actually see his face, then you kind of need to display him on a shelf that's above eye level. So if you've got a shelf that's pretty high in your room, which I'm sure a lot of you would, you just need to have him on a shelf high, otherwise he's going to look like that, which is not a big deal. But just one thing to note. So maybe they could have just angled this a little bit more flat. I mean, I think it looks good actually, that angle. You sort of sense that sort of power moving forward, but yeah, I don't know. That's just a thought. The green part also hangs over the eyes, you'll see. That's probably most of the problem. It's not so much the angle of the body. The other thing is, this figure is perhaps a tad small. So even if I compare it to the Goku, like you can see that the Goku is probably a bit bigger, whereas Cell is actually, in the show, is actually taller than Goku. So he does appear a little bit small. And that might be an issue, because if you want to display him with, if you displayed him with the SS2 Gohan Ichiban Kuji, I think he'd be fine. The other option is you could display him with the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Master Stars piece, which unfortunately I don't have handy now, but that figure is quite tall. Like, here's another Gohan I have. He's probably even taller than this figure. So the scale just, I mean, even though he's crouched, like if he was standing up, he would probably be about the same height. But yeah, I kind of wish they made it a little bit bigger. Same with the, if you want to display it with the SCultures androids, I only have Android 18 here with me now, but she kind of, you know, the scale kind of works there. And you know, Android 16 would be quite a lot bigger, but you know, he is bigger than Cell. But anyway, it's not a big deal. But I do wish they made it just a little bit bigger. But otherwise, it's really cool. Now, in terms of whether this figure or the SCultures one is better, I really like the SCultures series, and they all have that same. So the figures I was showing you before, they all have that same kind of semi-transparent kind of brown base. So if you kind of want to keep that theme, because Android 16, Android 20 all came from that series. Android 18 was also the SCultures series, but she actually has a different base. So you know, you might want to get the SCultures one just to keep things consistent. But it's really not a big deal, especially since Android 18 doesn't use that style of base. And I mean, this base is obviously a lot more interesting because it's rock and it's got energy waves rather than just sort of a standard brown base. So the SCultures figure might be better for you because it's a bit more consistent. It's also a taller figure. But I feel that the pose of this figure is certainly a lot better. I feel that the colouring is a lot better. I feel that in terms of the way that you can display him, it's a lot more versatile because he looks great from almost any different angle. So yeah, it's a tough call. I would probably say this is a better figure, to be honest, than the SCultures figure, but it really depends, you know, what you like. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video. Just to give you an idea of size, that's an iPhone 5 case. So you can see that he's just a little bit bigger than the case. So that was the top level powering of Perfect Cell Ichiban Kuji, released by Banpresto in 2010. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.